I'm Jenny Nicole. Thank you for checking out my new vlog, Meeting the Artist. In each episode, you'll get to know me a little bit better as a musical artist, as well as me on a personal level, and I hope to get to know you as well. On occasion, we'll also have a guest artist, and you'll get to meet them. So I'm a singer-songwriter from the St. Louis area. Now when I say St. Louis, I'm not actually in Missouri, I'm in Illinois, but if I tell you Illinois, you're going to think Chicago. So I'm just about 30 minutes from St. Louis in a little town called Wood River, Illinois. I grew up in the town next to it called East Alton, and I actually live less than 2 blocks from the house where I grew up as a little kid. So first of all, we're going to talk about my musical background. I came from a very musical family. Everyone from my sister all the way to my cousins either sings or plays a musical instrument of some kind. So I started off with piano when I was 4 years old. My mom and dad do play, but I was too stubborn to learn from them, so I took lessons, which I quickly quit, and I really regret. But I continued to teach myself over the years. I still play the piano today, but mostly by ear and just doing some basic chords. Starting in 3rd grade, I began the trombone, which I still play for the most part just once a summer in the community band. When I started the trombone, at that point in my life, I wanted to become a music educator. So during band practice, I would just have all the kids give me their instruments. Hey, give me your saxophone, give me your trumpet. And I would have them teach me the famous B-flat concert scale. And I would teach myself the instruments and then, just fiddle around on it here and there. I actually ended up buying a lot of the wind instruments to practice on at home. And then going into college, the plan was still to become a music educator, but I ended up having a music minor. So in college, I really enjoyed music theory. Maybe that's a little geeky of me, but I remember learning about like the dominant, subdominant, Aeolian, some of these things. I have no idea what they mean now, but it was a lot of fun. But it turned out that music education just wasn't for me because a lot of the schools are cutting back on programs in the arts, so I thought I would study something that would have better job security for me in the future. So even though I didn't end up as a music educator, you just can't really take the music out of somebody that grew up around it and had that instilled in them. So as I mentioned, I play the trombone every summer in the community band, and then in 2013 I began my journey on songwriting. So in my songwriting, I do use the piano a lot. As I mentioned, I started that when I was 4. For Christmas in 8th grade, I got my first guitar out of the JCPenney catalog, back when they still had a catalog. Boy, have things changed, huh? So I taught myself 3 chords, because that's basically all you need to get started. And then I learned probably 3 more, and I know a total of only 6 to 7 chords still after all of these years. So if a song is a little more complicated, then I tend to go back to the keyboard where I'm a little bit more fluent. So when I initially started songwriting, my goal was very different. I wanted to write for other artists to cut on their albums, but if you're into the music business, you know that is very difficult. So the new game plan was to put out my own album. So my motto is that I have a song for everyone, because I have songs in almost every genre. I have reggae, punk rock, pop, country. I even have one with some bachata influence. Bachata is a Latin genre. So my goal as a songwriter is to find something that everybody can enjoy, even if you're just, liking the groove or liking the melody. And I also want to find some lyrics that most people can relate with. So I also have some passions besides music. One of my biggest passions would be my dogs. I have 2 beagles, Lola and Pancho. I adopted both of them from local shelters. Pancho is now 11 and Lola is 7, and they are my children. I treat them like my own babies, and I just want to give them the best life as possible because there are just so many dogs in these cages or that are mistreated, and I want to provide a loving home for them. Another passion of mine, I guess you could call it passion, would be chocolate. So I think I have a problem, I need to admit that I just have to have that sugar fix. And it started where I would just need a little bit after dinner, then it transitioned where I also needed some after lunchtime, And then once in a while, I'll have the craving after breakfast these days, so I need to lay off of that. So maybe shockingly so now, after going on that rant about chocolate, my other passion would be health and fitness. So despite my chocolate addiction, I do try and watch my sugar intake because Americans partake in way more than we should. And I like to go to the gym regularly. I really love Zumba class or any of the group exercise classes. And it just feels good to get in there, and you have that soreness and stiffness the next day, so it feels like you're really making some progress. And I do try and eat healthily. I try to avoid fast food, and I also have some food restrictions due to some intolerances, so that really helps out when you have to eliminate foods to begin with. So if you enjoyed this vlog, please subscribe, leave your comments below or questions that you have for me below, and let me know what are your passions. Thanks, guys.
Your scent is new.